Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to another Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy for the Nintendo Switch.
Yay!
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to be notified when more Ace Attorney arrives every day at 3 p.m. Special shoutouts for friends over at Capcom for providing a copy of this game and sponsoring this over 80-episode series. It's time for us to continue the Stolen Turnabout.
Oh, yeah.
Last time, we had Detective Gumshoe do some stuff, and Look Atmey is here, and Phoenix Wright just said, there must be some reason, I'm sure of it.
That's right.
Well then, tell us what this special monocle of yours witnessed.
It's a magnifying glass, but okay.
Yeah, I know. What I witnessed.
Wouldn't that hurt to look through that magnifying glass all the time, though?
Oh yeah. It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the date changed. That's when my nemesis, the infamous Mas de Mas, dancing descended upon me. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike, and when I woke, he was gone.
Wow.
30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police.
I feel like this guy is writing like a Sherlock Holmes novel or something.
So you didn't get a clear look at the criminal? My specially made monocle never misses a thing.
Oh.
However, that is limited to things that fall within my own visual range. But of course, that's only natural. I fail to see why the witness seems so proud of his performance that evening.
I know.
Well, sir old-timer, let me explain. We are not speaking of any ordinary thief, but the king of thieves, the great Mas de Mask, my arch-enemy.
But he wins every time.
I know. That is what my instincts and my years of experience tell me.
Your experience of failure.
Very well. Proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Alright, I guess we'll just press everything. I don't know.
Probably. What you witnessed? It was approximately... Hold it. Whoops.
1 o'clock in the morning.
Why is the hold it not working? Hold it! There it is.
Hold it!
So, what would be 1 o'clock in the morning of the 12th, correct? That's an impressive deduction, sir lawyer. You were on a security duty that night. Where exactly were you at that time?
Yeah!
Penetrating question. I was in the basement warehouse near the computer. Near the computer, huh? So then you weren't lying, trying to remain hidden, I take it. Up to this point, I have tried to remain concealed while waiting for the thief. Yeah, he said the same thing yesterday, too.
Gumshoe also said they've never spotted the thief at the crime scene before.
Precisely. That is precisely why I chose not to hide last night. I knew that not by concealing myself, I would be putting pressure on the thief. Looks like the thief was the one applying pressure on your prodigy head. In any case... I know, it wasn't Prodigy, it was
Pigeony.
Yeah, Pigeony.
He said his head is like a pigeon.
That's when my nemesis, the infamous Mas de Mas, dancingly descended upon me. Yeah. Dancingly descended. From where exactly?
Dancingly descend.
Well, from the entrance, I suppose. Where else? So in actuality, he never danced nor descended. Someone please save me. So how is it that you didn't notice the thief?
I feel like Ace is the only normal person here.
I know. My eyes were looking for the thief's shadow while my ears listened for his footfalls. But even so, the dastardly criminal managed to sneak up on me.
Because you're terrible at your job.
Can only be due to his subtly camouflaged cape and soft-soled shoes. I hereby dub you Ace Dunce.
Yeah.
Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a hold it. You didn't see the criminal's face when that happened? What? Well, that's the difficult part. How should I put it? I saw his mask. That's all that I can recall. That's not very solid as far as testimonies go. However... Fortunately, I had my third monocle, the security camera, at the ready.
Wait, third monocle?
I captured this image perfectly. This should be sufficient, I believe. Very well. As long as this photo is authentic, I don't see a problem here. Well, Mr. Godot, do you have a problem with the photo? Oh boy. Good, then let's continue with the testimony. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. Hang on. Attacked and knocked unconscious, and you weren't able to do a thing? That's certainly some very impressive detective work. Well, Sir Lawyer, have you ever been suddenly struck on the head?
Actually,
well, actually, yes, by a fire extinguisher.
Yep.
And what happened? I was knocked out.
And you lost your memory too, Nick, remember?
You see, you have no right to look down on me, then do you?
Well,
The only reason I didn't lose my memory was because I have more brains to begin with.
What?
He may have brains, but the wiring to the self-reflection part seems to be severed. In any case, that was how I was knocked senseless, and then... 30 minutes later, I used the emergency phone to notify the police.
30 minutes later.
About this 30 minutes, my silver cord was loosened and my soul fled to the golden halls of...
Elysium? I don't know.
Never heard of that.
As usual, I have no idea what this guy is even saying.
I think he's saying that he was out cold. So what happened during the 30 minutes? No one can say, Your Honor. The span of time has truly vanished into the ether. Just what is it? What is he going on about?
There's something suspicious about Detective Atmey, Nick.
Oh, a whole truckload of suspicious.
How could he not have noticed when the thief came in at all?
Also, he says he was knocked unconscious before he could fight back. But that can't be right. It contradicts the evidence.
Huh? Which piece, Nick?
The real question is, why would he tell such an obvious lie? Okay, so Nick notices something.
Alright, so...
My nemesis, the infamous Master Mask. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow. Darkness swallowed, right here.
Yeah, when he awoke, he was gone. No, because there's no way he was just knocked out. Because if you look at the brooch, there was a struggle with whoever fought the mask. It was ripped off. I think that contradicts it. I don't know.
You would say the brooch contradicts it?
Yeah, because there was a struggle with that.
Okay. Mr. Atmey.
It's fine. He's acting like a lady.
Could you take a look at this with that special monocle of yours? Monocle? Oh, blast.
Whatever.
Aha! This belongs to the criminal mastermind, my arch nemesis, Master Mask.
It's okay, Phoenix. These people are crazy.
It is in point of fact Master Mask's brooch. It was found on the floor of the basement warehouse. I wonder how that happened. Ah! Elementary, my dear lawyer. Obviously, it wasn't glued on well enough.
It was torn off.
Not quite. It clearly shows signs of having been ripped off by a piece of clothing. Ripped off? Ah! We can only deduce that the thief struggled with someone that night. That's the only thing I can think of. And there's only one person that was in position to have a struggle with the thief. The only person that was on security duty that night. You, Detective Atmey.
Yeah! You tell him, Phoenix. Good job.
Detective Atmey, you must have fought with the thief that night. So, why did you lie in your testimony to the court? Witness, giving false testimony is a serious crime. Wait, just a moment, sir, old timer. Don't talk to me like I'm living in a nursing home.
I know.
I just remembered, Your Honor. I was just confused because I've been dealing with so many cases lately. The true measure of a man is in the amount of work he does. That's what I always say.
Nick, you can only handle one case at a time. Isn't that right?
You talk too much. Witness, so you're now saying that you and the thief fought? Hold on. That's quite enough, Your Honor. Excuse me? Save the big questions for the testimony. That's one of my rules.
Where did his coffee come
Indeed, I understand. I look at me, agree completely.
from? Also, that guy hasn't even done even one case. And he's like mocking Nick for only doing one case
I know.
at a time.
Indeed, it's true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. However, look at me cannot be so easily discombobulated. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon from the side and rendered me senseless. A true gentleman fights only with his own fists, but they were not enough. The first blow struck true, bam! And that's all she wrote.
Oh my gosh.
That doesn't explain the brooch. So in the
Yeah.
end, you did catch a glimpse of Master Mask? Correct. It was during his third crime that he struck me from behind. It seems that my memory has become a tad jumbled, so to speak.
Okay.
Well, that's certainly understandable for a bump on the noggin. I myself always get confused about which testimony goes with which case.
Wow.
That can't be good.
You shouldn't be saying that out loud as a judge.
I know, the fight with the thief.
Okay.
Indeed, it's true that I looked away from the door. Hold it.
Hold it!
So why did you look away from the door anyway? In addition to the camera, I had prepared a variety of other sensors as well. Really? The alarm on one of those had gone off, so I had to check the data. That's where I went to the computer, elegantly, of course.
You elegantly went there?
So you were momentarily vulnerable when you were working on the computer? What should I do? Should I ask some more questions? About the sensor, about the computer.
I don't know.
Let's go with the computer.
Yeah.
So, did that computer belong to Lordly Taylor as well? Correct. Well, except for the program that manages the data. That was specifically designed by me. Look at me. In that case, he could have easily manipulated the data.
Yeah.
What's wrong, Sir Lawyer?
Whoa, he could have manipulated
However,
it.
look at me cannot be so easily discombobulated. Wait a sec. What does that mean, discombobulated? Young people these days, they really irritate me. They allow perfectly good old words to die until everyone forgets what they mean. Sorry, but what exactly does it mean?
I think it means shaken up.
Now I've forgotten. What was I saying? Jeez, it's better than old people forget what they were saying 5 seconds ago.
I didn't even know discombobulated was a real word.
Well, it looks like we've cleared that up. You can go on with your testimony.
I thought it was like slang or something.
I thought it meant like jumbled or something.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon and wham! What do you mean by weapon from the side? Naturally, that thief had no idea that I, look at me, was hiding in the area. He grabbed the sword from the statue that was standing by the door to the warehouse. The sword? Oh, you mean the ceremonial sword, the one that's twisted like a tree branch now. Correct. Fortunately for me, the blade was not sharp.
That's good.
Okay, so he is talking about that ceremonial weapon.
Yeah.
So the thief armed himself with a sword? And what about yourself, witness? Coward. A true gentleman fights only with his own fists. You had that much faith in your own fighting abilities? But of course, in college, I was second in charge of the boxing club.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I failed to find that appropriately impressive. However, my opponent in the ring this time was my arch enemy, Master Mask.
Okay.
This guy is the real piece of work. Oh boy. His first blow struck true. Whoops.
Well, what do you think, Nick?
I meant to... Well, there's one thing that I'm absolutely sure of now.
Yeah? What is it?
This look at me guy, he's definitely hiding something.
But why?
I think I'm starting to figure out what really happened that night. And about the true nature of this detective.
I think so too. He's so shady.
All right, we need to question him on that
Okay.
last statement.
Yeah, his first blow struck true, or whatever he said.
This is the final statement. We forgot to question this one.
All
There
right.
we go.
Yeah, hold it.
Can you tell us a little more about what happened? My opponent was both powerful and vicious. You might say he was powerous.
Powericious.
What? Powericious?
He just made up a word.
I assumed the Atmey fighting stance, but a sudden flash of light blinded me. That, of course, was checkmate. My opponent had bested me. What do I do now? Should I ask more about this?
What about his fighting style?
Okay.
I don't know.
What is this Atmey fighting style? I'm sorry, but that's a trade secret. I really can't say anymore. But I suppose I can tell you if I absolutely must. The main thing is to put your back to the wall. That way, no one can get behind you.
What?
That's it! That's the Atmey fighting style?
Sounds like you just backed up against the
Well,
wall.
Mr. Wright, what about that testimony?
I think it was very important. I don't know
Of course,
why, though.
it's important. We've learned the detective's secret technique, after all. Yes, indeed. I'll remember to use it if I ever take a walk alone at night. Why the heck is he eyeballing me like that? It's creeping me out.
Yeah.
He does think you tried to hire an assassin in the last... Never mind.
Yeah, that's right. He does.
Now then, witness. We'll go ahead and add that secret information to your official testimony. I put my back to the wall to fight, but the thief's blow landed upon my third eye.
Luke,
I want to hold him on this
okay, yeah, let's do that.
one. Where is this third eye you're talking about? Oh, it's right between my right and left eyebrows. It's quite invisible to the unenlightened. You may call it the forehead if you like. Why didn't you just say that in the first place?
Oh my gosh.
Sir Lawyer, it looks like the creases in your own forehead are getting deeper.
What does that have to do with anything?
No idea.
So, Mr. Atmey got hit on the forehead then. Is that what he's saying, Nick?
That's what he says.
I've got a funny feeling about this, Nick.
Didn't he say he was attacked from behind originally?
Yeah.
Actually, so do I.
Well, what do you think?
Well, there's one thing that I'm absolutely sure of now.
Yeah? What is it?
This Luke Atmey guy, he's definitely hiding something. All right, so we've questioned everything.
Why? Okay, so...
That the true nature of this detective is not a detective.
Alright, so when he talks... yeah, you're right. He said he was hit on the forehead. So when he says that thing about his back to the wall, let's present that sword. There we go. So let's
You want
present
to
the
present
sword.
Okay.
Yes, Yep, I want to do that.
Detective Atmey, your testimony is crumbling like a house of cards. What fun is this, Sir Lawyer? It is truly a pleasure to cross swords with you.
Oh.
And now, once again, you have thrown down the gauntlet at my armored feet. I believe this is what you said yesterday. No, the coward must have wormed his way in through somewhere besides the door. Then my arch-nemesis struck me on the head from behind with his gruesome item.
Okay.
From behind, huh? But just now you testified that he struck you on the forehead.
That's in the front.
I hardly think you could forget where you were hit on the head. Yeah, it seems I've made another mistake.
I like that. Yeah.
I don't know.
That was cute.
Detective Atmey, that's not the only strange part of your testimony, sir. What do you mean by that? For example, Your Honor, the very fact that he hid the calling card from the police itself is very strange.
Yes, it is.
It's almost as if you were afraid you were going to get, you were going to help with security. What? Oh, they were going to help with security. Ark!
He didn't want anyone helping with the security.
Geniuses such as myself have always been misunderstood. How sad. That's wrong!
Whoa, he said objection?
To err is human, to forgive divine. Humans aren't machines, they have souls, feelings. They live, they die, they love, they hate, and yes, they even make mistakes.
Okay.
What? Hey, hold on! It's not as pretty as that! Really? What is it then?
Okay.
Always chase a riddle down to the end. That's one of my rules.
You've never had a case before.
This is it!
These people are
This might just be my chance to turn things around.
Alright.
Mr. Knight, what exactly is it that you're asserting?
Okay, there's something funny about him.
Very well, Your Honor. The defense asserts that Mr. Atmey is not an ace detective. He is a fake.
No, I think he's the mask.
What?
I'm gonna say he is the mask. Do whatever you want, it's fine. But I think he's the mask.
Okay. The answer is simple. It's all clear to me now. Detective Luke Atmey's true identity is actually Master Mask. Yeah!
Oh, thank you for trying it. I don't know.
Order in the court, Mr. Wright. What is the meaning of this?
He is the mask.
There are too many unnatural parts to Mr. Atmey's story. He says he was hiding at the crime scene, which is why no one ever saw him there. And then, in his last case, he manages to outperform Detective Gumshoe and the entire police force to miraculously retrieve the stolen treasure? That's because I analyzed the crime scene data and made an exquisitely elegant deduction. I picked up my clues and police overlooked in order to arrive at a...
Huh?
Oh, please. The explanation is far simpler than that, Detective Atmey. The truth is that you are in fact Master Mask. Gurk! But Mr. Wright, this photo is clearly, it shows Master Mask. It's true. The security camera belongs to Lordly Terror Department Store. He shouldn't have been able to manipulate it.
That's right.
But he was the only one down there. He didn't need to manipulate it. He gained access to the warehouse under the pretense of providing security. He then simply dressed up as a thief and stole the urn. So the ace detective is actually an ace thief?
Whoa.
Is this true, witness? Yeah.
What?
Master Mask MO is pure genius, and so I. Look at me, ace detective.
What?
You're very clever to have come to such a conclusion. I'm impressed, sir lawyer. What? Witness, you were admitting it?
Nick, now's your chance.
Yes, it's time to put the last nail in this guy's coffin. Detective Atmey, when you assumed the...
What?
Oh!
Hot coffee on your face?
What? Godot Blend 102, my personal favorite.
You just poured hot coffee.
Mr. Godot! The ace detective is actually an ace thief. I smell a best-selling novel. There's only one problem. It simply isn't true. But Mr. Godot, Mr. Wright has made some very strong points, and I'll admit my opponent has woven a compelling narrative out of the whole cloth. But it is, in fact, nothing more than a patchwork quilt, Mr. Trite. If this detective really is the thief, then show us a proof of your claim. But it had better be as hot as the perfect and as perfect as the coffee dripping down your face. Wow, that's assault. Well, Mr. Wright, don't just stand there dripping coffee all over my clean courtroom. This court would like to see this decisive proof you have, and quickly.
Maybe I chose the wrong thing.
Yes, of course. What's the big rush?
I don't know if we have any proof.
Oh, no.
Are you all right, Nick?
Atmey looks pretty rattled right now. I'd like to finish this right now if I can. But can I really do it? The decisive evidence that proves Luke Atmey is in fact Master Mask has yet to be found.
Yeah, let's go with that. I don't know. I don't have any, unless I don't think we have any
proof. Of course I got nothing. Ha! Just what I thought.
Oops. Sorry, Luke. Maybe I did the wrong choice.
A man has to hold his head up high, no matter how bad things get. After all.
He seemed like he was the mask, though.
I see. I thought perhaps you had some evidence to back up your assertion.
Oops.
This is no good. I've got to stay on the attack. I'll never get another chance to prove that this guy is the thief.
Don't give up, Nick. Think harder, and then try again.
It's no good. I'm just not ready yet.
But are you gonna just give up and let us lose like this, Nick?
So you've come to your senses, have you, Sir Lawyer? I can't think of a counterattack at all. It seems the cloud of suspicion surrounding this witness has lifted. Mr. Godot, if you have anything further to add, then...
Hold it. I don't know who that is.
Who said... What? Who are you?
That doesn't really matter right now, does it?
Miss DeLite? Wouldn't it be Mrs. DeLite? Oh, whatever.
I know, she's
What are you doing
married.
here?
Nicky boy, the thing you've been looking for. I think I found it.
You mean that bag?
No, not the bag. Silly. What's in the bag? Well...
That's...
The secret urn! Nick! It's the urn!
What in the world? Hold on!
Wait!
You, madame!
That was in that Ace
I
guy's
know.
room.
That urn, where did you find it?
You'll never believe it. It was in the office of Mr. Fancy Pants, Ace Detective, Luke Atmey.
Oh, Desi, you're the best! Sacred urn updated in the court record. Well, how do you explain that, Mr. Atmey? Even you're gonna have a hard time whistling out of... Oh, wow. Even you're gonna have a hard time weaseling out of this one.
Yeah!
Oh, not again. Ha! Pathetic. Mr. Godot, do you have something you wish to say? Yes, Your Honor. It simply amazes me how quickly times change. In the old days, a man was to be taken at his word. It's truly sad.
But this is a courtroom.
You're still denying that Mr. Atmey was involved? Before casting aspirations at Detective Atmey, consider the young lady here. Your name is Desiree? Desiree DeLite, is that correct?
Yes, what about it?
Ha! How charming. The lengths that a woman is willing to go to save her husband is truly inspiring.
What are you insinuating?
As the wife of the criminal, you could have discovered that stolen urn anywhere.
That's true, actually.
Including the office of the good detective here.
Yeah, but we did see that bag in his office.
I know. So you found the urn. What does that prove? It certainly doesn't prove where the urn was before you found it.
What? I just brought it here from the detective's office.
That's good. Please, madame. This town is already filled to the brim with lies. That's actually a, it's a...
reference?
It's a reference to a game called Shenmue.
Oh.
Whenever you drink something, you say, it's good.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right,
no,
right.
never mind. I hope to look at the third game, but I don't know if it's going to be rated M.
Oh, okay.
Any more could only compound the tragedy we have been witness to.
I'm sorry I don't get references.
You've never played that game.
Aw, you're wrong. I would never do such a thing.
Miss DeLite.
Please, Nicky boy, you've got to help me talk some sense into these people.
There must be some way. You felt the bag yourself, Nick.
You saw it.
I've got to prove that the urn was actually in the Atmey detective wait! Fingerprints on the urn! His fingerprints!
Yeah. Let's do that, Luke.
I can prove where the urn was. By the fingerprints on it. The fingerprints, eh? Come on now. Now you're really making me laugh, Sir Lawyer. Fingerprints indeed. Huh? May I go on? Good. Now, it would be perfectly understandable if my fingerprints were on the urn. After all, it was I who was guarding the urn in the first place. In any case, I'm always in the habit of wearing gloves, as you can see.
Then your fingerprints shouldn't be on it.
So unfortunately, my fingerprints wouldn't be the evidence of anything. What about it, Mr. Wright? This witness fingerprints would mean nothing anyway.
Nick, what are you gonna do now?
I've come too far to turn back now. Atmey must have brought the urn back to his office yesterday. And there, I'm sure someone must have left their fingerprints on it.
Okay.
The defense proposes that the fingerprints of this person should be on the urn.
Okay.
Present yourself, Phoenix Wright!
I think so, because you tried to touch it yesterday.
So what is this fuss about fingerprints anyway? Mr. Atmey, do you recall the events of yesterday?
Hey, Nick! Come on! Open it up! Come on, Nick!
Hey, wait a minute. We can't just open this. It's private property.
It's okay. Don't be such a fuddy-duddy, Nick! This is an important investigation!
It's gonna be the death of me, Maya.
I know she is.
Well, what's in there?
Hang on a sec. I'm taking it out now.
Ooh, schmooze.
Whatever it is, it feels kind of hard and smooth. Well, hello there.
Ah!
Hey, don't interrupt my daydream. It's true that I didn't get a chance to look in the bag at the time.
But you did touch the urn.
But I did touch what was inside of it.
Hopefully it wasn't a porcupine.
What? You touched it?
Oh.
And I remember it very well. It was smooth and hard. Well, that was just...
Watermelon?
A bowling ball? Your Honor,
Yeah.
I would like the court to examine the fingerprints on that urn. If my fingerprints are on there, then it proves the urn was in Detective Atmey's office.
Whoa!
Well, even if your fingerprints were on the urn, it still doesn't prove when they were put there, does it? Of course it does. What do you mean to say? It's not what I say, but what Miss Adrian Andrews, the person in charge of the exhibition, said.
I polished it until it was just glowing. I thought maybe I could make it look more valuable. So she wiped everything off of it.
If she polished it that much, she must have removed any and all fingerprints on it. And the only chance I had to get my fingerprints on it was after that. Yesterday, at the Atmey Detective Agency. Huh. This blend of Godot, blend 107. I've decided. It's a little too bitter after all.
Okay.
Seems like we got him.
Yeah.
Order! I accept the defense's request.
Yeah.
Bailiff, take this on and... Wait! Wait a moment, Your Honor.
Huh?
There's no need for that. No need, you say? Precisely. I already know Mr. Wright's fingerprints are on the urn.
What?
What are you saying? Yes, I've finally broken him down.
Oh, yeah.
Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself.
What?
Here I am, the tragic clown.
This guy is nuttier than a fruitcake, Nick.
You see, it was me all along. I am the one and only Master Mask. Aha! I hope you all enjoyed my little performance.
Wait, he's admitting it?
Oh, gosh.
So basically he made this up just for fame or something?
Yep. Well, Mr. Godot, what's Mr. Atmey's condition?
And he never really kept his priceless treasures. He always just... Oh.
He's still in the lobby, laughing insanely, Your Honor. I wish I could enjoy the joke as much as he seems to be. Well, it looks like the matter has been settled. I came precisely close to besmudging the record of an innocent young man. Besmudging him with the title of thief.
Nick, you were right after all.
Yeah, I guess Mr. DeLite really wasn't the thief. This court finds the defendant Ron DeLite.
Well, what?
You're wrong! Hey, wrong, I tell you, I mean, not exactly wrong so much, but not exactly right, but what is it you're really trying to say? Oh no, he's not!
No.
This can't be happening!
Why is he admitting? The other guy just showed he was mad.
The thief, the sneaky, odious thief who's been stealing all the treasures. It's me! It's him! I'm the one you want! I'm the thief, I tell you! So do it! Pronounce me guilty, please!
But what? So confused.
I don't know what kind of kangaroo court you all think this is, but... The true identity of the thief has already been proven. Please hurry and pass What are you talking about? I already confessed. I'm the thief, I tell you.
Oh my gosh, why would our client confess? The other guy was already proven.
Mr. Godot, don't stand there drinking your delicious blend of coffee. Huh. Hey there, Mr. Thief. Yes, sir? If you're really a man, then clean up your own mess. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I just don't have any idea what you mean. If you're a master mask, then prove it. That's what it means. Yes, sir. I'll be happy to.
He says he'll be happy to, Nick.
It's kinda cute. He's 100% committed to his fantasy. Good boy. Just remember one thing. A boy only gets one chance in his life to become a man. I know that. I won't fail, I swear. Okay then. Talk. We're all listening.
But he's just a super fan.
Oh well, let's all have a listen to his confession.
Oh, this is making me... He's probably gonna almost get himself in jail because of this.
I know. The truth is, I've been Master Mask all along. I mean, you can't prove that I'm not actually the Mask, can you? I don't have an alibi, for the night of the urn was stolen after all. I donned my costume that night and dancingly descended upon the scene of the crime. Look, you can see right here in the photo, that's me. As for my brooch, I snagged it on the door handle and it got torn off, that's all.
Okay.
I don't like the direction this trial is taken.
Me neither.
But this is how every trial goes, at least with me anyway.
Yeah, it's insane.
You're doing great. Stop it, Mr. Godot, you're embarrassing me. Like I said, you're only gonna get one chance to testify, alright? But if you make it through this with flying colors, I'll keep my promise too.
What promise?
I'll make sure you stay locked up in prison as the one and only true Master Mask. Thanks so much, Mr. Godot. I'll do my best.
What?
Alright, Mr. Wright, I'm afraid this is a time for the cross-examination.
Why does he want to go to prison? What a weirdo.
He's pretty weird. Cross-examination, Master Mask.
What about his wife?
I have no idea. The truth is, I've been Master Mask all along. You mean to think you're the real Master Mask, but your wife thinks you're delusional. I haven't told Desi yet, but my true identity, I mean. I believe I've got my reasons. With the way your room is decked out, how could she not know about it?
I know.
Even thieves have complicated family situations, I suppose. What should I do? It sounds like we're about to get sidetracked again. Press harder. So why are you withholding the truth from your wife? Well, first of all, I don't think she'd believe me anyway. And second, if there's one thing that Desi absolutely detests, it's criminals. If that's the case, then why did you ever start thieving to begin with? Well, Desi is crazy about shopping. She's a real shopaholic. But she's the love of my life, Your Honor. I guess you could say I'm a Desi-aholic.
Aww.
That's kind of sweet. So you have a complicated family situation after all. All right, that's enough. Please continue with your testimony.
What girl doesn't have a shopping problem?
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, boy. I thought you were going to be the one to show us the proof. You know that you're the real Master Mask, not just some kind of obsessed fanboy. Hey now, that's not fair. Why do I have to do all the work anyway? Maybe because you're the one making the outrageous claim for a change?
I know.
Come on, Nick. You know that Mr. DeLite couldn't have committed the crime.
Yeah, mostly sure.
You're the one with the fancy law degree, Nick. It's time to put it to work already.
I need some kind of proof that Ron couldn't possibly be Master Mask.
Well, I guess if you had that kind of proof, we wouldn't still be here, would we?
Probably be the blackmail letter. For the time being, maybe I need to shift strategies. I should try to show that Mr. DeLite couldn't have stolen the urn. Anyway, I don't have any alibi. You've got no alibi, huh? I've been a judge for a long time, and this is the first time I've ever heard a defendant brag about not having an alibi. But I tell you, I was in the Lordly Tavern that night. No. That's too vague, even for me. To be more precise, I was down in the basement warehouse. Hold on.
What is it, Nick?
Where was Ron DeLite when the crime happened anyway? If we can prove he had an alibi after all, this case will be a piece of cake.
Well, you're right, but...
Huh. You think you could prove that? Wake up and smell the coffee. Well, I think maybe I can. Mr. Knight, do you have any evidence that shows the defendant has an alibi? Yes, I have evidence. I have evidence, or, you think I'm still some kind of third-rate rookie. Oh, I've never seen you this angry before. I'm not surprised. Anger is the last refuge of the pathetic.
Okay.
I thought I was more confident than angry. Well then, let's see this evidence already. Show to this court the evidence that proves your client was on... it was somewhere else. It'd probably be the blackmail letter.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's try that.
Mr. DeLite, I believe you've seen this before, correct? That's... What is it? A blackmail letter, Your Honor. That's what it looks like from the contents. Blackmail? According to this letter, at 1 o'clock in the morning on the night of the crime, Mr. Ron DeLite was ordered to go to the offices of KB Security.
Whoa!
1 o'clock in the morning? Correct. Which is around the time the security camera photo was taken.
Whoa! And it would have been a half an hour away.
So if the defendant was at the KB Security at 1 o'clock in the morning, then that proves that he has a watertight alibi.
Yeah!
No! Furthermore, considering the distance between Lordly Taylor and KB Security, it would have taken 30 minutes to get there by car, according to lawyer Larry, anyway.
Yep. Probably more like 45.
Well, Mr. Godot, do you have anything to say?
Nope.
And stop drinking that coffee! Come on, Mr. Thief. Don't let this guy beat you. Tell him why he's wrong. You're the one who calls me a thief, Mr. Godot. All right, I'll try. I'll do it, I will.
He's really got Mr. DeLite all worked up.
Yeah, he's like a kid at his first day of school. Mr. Wright, it's true that I received the blackmail letter, but whether or not I actually went there is a whole different story, right? Sorry if I'm sounding dramatic. I guess I don't know what I'm really talking about. Ha! That was brilliant. Well, Mr. Knight, it looks like you need some more evidence after all. Oh, this is stupid. Now then, let's see your evidence.
Alright, do we know anyone else at the security office?
Yes, we do. Demonstrate to the court that Mr. DeLite actually went to the security that night.
We can't call that other oh wait, yeah, Larry! Oh my gosh, present him, yeah.
Uh-oh, music's still playing. Here's your evidence. What is this supposed to mean, Mr. Wright? Huh? Well, I mean, don't you know? Mr. Wright, if you're a real man, you should clean up your own mess. Okay, so probably his wallet, then. No!
Oops.
For some reason, it bothers me more when he says it.
Ouch.
Now then, let's see your evidence.
Or evidence for what?
Demonstrate to this court that Mr. DeLite actually went to it was his wallet.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
There we go. Mr. DeLite, this wallet belongs to you, correct? Yes, it does. I had lost it somewhere. Mr. Knight, when you find a wallet, you should report it to the police right away, thief. No, you don't understand. This is an important piece of evidence. Evidence, you say? Mr. DeLite, when did you first notice that you'd lost your wallet? Let's see. I think it was on the night of the crime. But I don't know. I still had it when Desi and I went out for dinner. This wallet was found at approximately 1 a.m. at KB Security Headquarters.
Whoa.
What? Surely you're not serious? Yes, I'm serious. This proves that Mr. DeLite was in fact at KB Security that night. No!
Wow.
Huh. This is indeed sad. Romanticists are blind to the reality that lies before them.
Huh?
What? What does that even mean? Why did Mr. DeLite drop his wallet at KB Security? What purpose did it serve? Perhaps it was dropped by his wife to create a false alibi for her dear husband instead.
Huh?
Sorry, but Mr. DeLite probably dropped it himself when he went to use this. The key card to KB Security's CEO's office. CEO's office. What's wrong? No snappy comebacks? The fact that Mr. DeLite entered CEO's office around 1 o'clock that night. No.
Well, that guy's drinking way too much coffee in one day.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be able to say no. Order!
Yeah, how could he say no while he's drinking coffee?
So when the theft of the urn occurred, the defendant was at the security office? It looks like this case has the perfect defense. You may see it as a perfect case, Judge, but to me... Well, let's just say that my Cadet Blend 107 impresses me a lot more. What are you trying to say? You say the thief was being blackmailed by the CEO of a security company? But did you actually investigate the CEO at all? Huh? Well, no, I guess not.
No.
Accusing a man of blackmail with no proof? I'm not sure what I think of that. Not sure what I think of that. At least I know what I think of you, psycho. Good point. I'm not sure what I think of it myself. You claim that the defendant entered the CEO's office? But you'll need at least one witness to corroborate your claim. Now we use Larry Butts.
Oh, okay.
Nick, I think we're gonna have to track down the CEO guy.
No, we don't have to track down the CEO at all.
We don't?
What do you mean by that, Mr. Trite? There's someone else who can testify. This person who can testify is...
Another person at the security office. Larry
Butts. Who is this useless-looking young man? You don't remember him, Your Honor? Not exactly, no. But just looking at his picture makes the bile start to rise in my throat.
Oh my gosh.
It looks like he doesn't remember the case from 2 years ago, Nick.
He probably blocked it out of his memory on purpose.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, this man was working as a guard at KB Security that night. Oh? The question at hand is this key card. Yup, that's the key card that I use in the building I work. According to the serial number, this is one for the CEO's office. You need to get into that room, and every time you use that card, it leaves a record. Yeah, it tells you exactly who entered the room and when. As you can see, there's no need to investigate the CEO of KB Security. We should be able to discover the truth simply by analyzing the key card's data.
Whoa.
Okay, spit take.
Okay.
That's gotta be the end of the case. Hi. Well, Mr. Gadot, the name of the CEO, KB Security, is Kane Bullard. I was unable to contact him directly, but I got the keycard data here. So what does it show? Each keycard has its own serial number, and they leave detailed records for their use.
Okay.
According to this data, the card was used at 1 a.m. on the morning of the crime.
Whoa.
Keycard updated in the court record. But that means it can't be Mr. DeLite dressed as the mask in this photo.
Nope.
Huh. It looks like you're right. 2 minutes isn't even enough time to brew a good cup of joe. So then... why are you smiling?
I know.
Ron DeLite was clearly in the office of KB Security Office at the time of the crime. The prosecutor's office is ready to admit that fact.
What?
Therefore, it is impossible for the defendant to be mask to mask.
Good job! You did it, Nick!
That's enough! I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man again!
Delusional man.
Besmirching him with the title of thief instead of crazy person! What's wrong, Your Honor? I'm ready to pass judgment, but before I do that, do you have any further objections? No, Your Honor. Very well. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron DeLite, not guilty!
Yay! Wow, that was crazy.
Woohoo! Court is now adjourned.
Whoa, that was kind of more clear-cut than usual.
I know, October 13th, 224, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Oh my goodness.
Nick, you did it! You were right after all! Actually, I'm a little bit ashamed of myself. Nicky boy!
Oh, Miss DeLite.
I know you could do it. I believed in you all along, Nicky boy. I don't know how I could ever repay you.
Aw, shucks. Thanks, Miss DeLite. I just know I'm blushing.
Congratulations, Mr. Nick!
Pearl's back, kind of. Oh, Pearls! You sound so much better. I've got a bad feeling about this.
I like Pearl's old voice.
Who is this woman?
Oh, she's, nobody. She's just,
You're blushing! How dare you do this in front of Mystic Maya?
Oh my gosh!
You should be ashamed of yourself!
Ouch! She slapped me again!
Pearl's gonna grow up to be a criminal.
Yep.
Pearly? This woman is Miss Desiree DeLite! She's our client's wife, Pearly! Oh, Mr. Nick!
Yes?
You're even worse than I thought! Going behind the back of your own client!
No! You've got. Oh!
I'll never forgive you!
A double slap?
Well, anyway, all's well that ends well, right, Nick? Are you okay? We've got the secret urn back, and the thief has been caught!
You're so right, and it's all thanks to Nicky Boy here.
You're married.
But actually, it was you, Miss DeLite. You brought us our urn back. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, please. You're embarrassing me.
If we won the case, then why does this guy still look so glum? But I am the thief. Actually, what's the point of now?
Oh, what is it, honey? I did my best for you, Ronnie.
I know that, and I appreciate it, Desi. But the thing is... Come on, give the kids some time.
What?
He's just a little touch of the blues. You know about feeling blue, right, amigo? Mr. Gadot, what are you doing here? Oh, come on. I just came here to say thanks to my newest buddy. You, Mr. Trite. Maybe you should learn my name before you call me buddy.
Buddy?
Well, playtime is over. Huh? Early this morning, the body of Cain Bullard was discovered.
Hmm?
King Bullard? Where have I heard that name before?
Isn't that the name of the CEO of KB Security?
Oh, wait, Buddy!
The estimated time of death was 1 a.m. on October 12th. 1 a.m. October 12th? You don't mean... That's right, amigo. At the same time that cheap little urn was being stolen, the CEO of KB Security was murdered. So then, what you're doing here is... Oh, come on. You figured it out already, haven't you, amigo? Or have you already forgotten about that piece of info I helped you out with today?
Wait, maybe that other guy was the real killer.
Helped me out with what? On October 12th at 1 o'clock in the morning, Ron DeLite was in the CEO's office, the scene of the murder. After getting the blackmail letter, he must have been imbued with utter rage.
What are you saying? Imbued with rage?
Come on, don't tell me you don't know. Ron DeLite was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard. An employee of KB Security? It looks like the alibi that saved him from being convicted as a thief is gonna be the noose that hangs him. Kind of an anti-alibi.
No way!
He can't be the thief because he was at the murder scene when the murder occurred.
No! That's a lie! It can't be true!
Oh, but I am the thief, I tell you. Ron DeLite, you're going back to prison again. This time the charge is much more serious. This time you'll be tried for murder. What? This is impossible!
What?
I'm looking forward to another exciting showdown, Mr. Trite.
Wow.
You and I aren't through with each other just yet.
Well, this guy is smarter than he looks.
And surely you won't back down from a challenge you've never been a coward, right?
Mr. Nick! Is there something personal between you two or something?
I've returned from the depths of Hades to battle with you. At least let me have fun while I'm here. This guy, who the heck is he? He may be quiet, but he's the most dangerous enemy I've ever faced.
I know.
Well then, time to say goodbye, Mr. DeLite.
Whoa! I did not see this coming.
Nick, how could this be happening?
Right in front of our very eyes, our client has been arrested for murder. And the one who established his presence at the scene was me.
Ronnie!
Arrested for murder on the very same day he's declared innocent of larceny. What the heck's going to happen next? We'll have to find out tomorrow
Oh my
as Ace Attorney
gosh.
continues with the biggest plot twist we've seen yet. Wow. All
That
right.
was crazy. I mean, I want to clap, but I feel like we should have made him the thief so he wouldn't be convicted of murder. Now this is very bad.
So anyway, guys and gals, that does it for today's long episode of Ace Attorney. Join us tomorrow as we try to prove that our client is not guilty of murder. Until then, God bless and happy gaming. Something else cool on Let's Plays today at 6 p.m. Bye-bye.
See ya. Have a great day, guys.